Okay, hi everyone. Purpose of this video today is to show you exactly how you can use the iPad app called Explain Everything to actually help you do some of your flipped classroom teaching and hopefully make things a bit better for your students in your classes. So what I'm going to be showing you is this little app here. So in the middle of the screen here you've got this one called Explain Everything. So you need to download that from the App Store. Okay, when you open that, you probably first time you won't see this here. Okay, you'll just have a grey screen. What you're going to do is come up here to click this this little arrow up here to bring you up a blank presentation you can use. So this is just the backgrounds that you can use. I'm going to go with black today, so I'm going to choose a black one. And this is your basic screen. So I'm going to go through some of the different options that you've got here, just starting with this first one at the top. So this one up here is a little pen icon. So you've got different sizes of your pens here, and this allows you to actually write on your iPad. And the color that will be is the default one down the bottom here, so either white, red, or the sort of grey blue. So I'm actually going to go with the red down the bottom here. Choose my pen, it's already selected. I'm going to go with a smaller style there, okay? And I'm just going to start writing on the screen. So I'm going to go, hi all, okay? Now obviously, unless you are an expert at using your finger to be able to write really neatly, it's a bit hard to fit a lot on the page, right, or to be able to explain too many things, which is why it's really good to have your voiceover as well. But you can use this if you want. If you don't like what you've written or you want to get rid of it, come down to this little arrow down here, this backwards arrow. If you click on that, all right, that brings up two options. You can either get rid of what you've done, which is this one, or you can bring it back with that one. So I'm actually just going to clear all this writing here and come back to my blank screen, which I had at the beginning. Okay, so that's the writing tool. The next one down here is your highlighter. So if you choose that, all right, again you can choose your color, and this is just a broad highlighting tool like this. So it's a bit like a big fat pen, okay, but you can use it to highlight important things. I'm just going to get rid of that one. Next one down here, this is specific shapes, okay? Anytime you see one of these little arrows down here, that means there's more options. So if you click it again, okay, you'll come up with the options. So you've got circles, squares, arrows, lines, fat lines, thin lines, stars, okay? You can choose to put a shadow around them as well if you want. Okay, so I just want a general box just here, okay? And then, so if I click on the screen, all right, for the box that I'm choosing, you actually need to click and drag your box, okay? So start with your finger in one corner and then just pull it down, and that will create a box for you. So you can create a number of different boxes. If you then want to move that, notice it defaulted over here to the little hand signal, okay? That hand signal allows you to now move it, okay? So you can actually put your finger just right in the middle here, all right? And then you can move it around the screen wherever you want. Okay, that's really good for you. If again you don't like it, just get rid of it, okay, using that little arrow down the bottom here. Okay, this one allows you to actually do typing, okay, so if you actually press in this one, again there's more options. Having a look, you can choose the font size, you can choose to put a border around it as well, you can choose the font that you're actually using. Just again, you've got all these different options, so I'm going to go with Chalk Duster because I quite like that one, okay, and then put it in here, and you notice it opens up a little box, brings up your keyboard, and this is how you use an iPad, okay, and it will actually auto correct for you if you see as well. Okay, once you're done, there's a little green arrow over here, click that, and that will bring it up on the screen as well. So this might be a much nicer way if you don't like using your finger to draw, get some much nicer writing on the screen. Again, it defaults up here to the hand, so you can now click and move that around any way you want, okay. That's a very handy little option for you. Okay, this one down here is I think perhaps one of the best ones though. So we're going to come to this little add option here, and this allows you to choose a photo, a video, some sound effects. You can put maths equations in, some maths teachers. I'll show you that, okay. And here you've got all your different options here, so you can do, doesn't really matter, okay. You've got symbols if you want to put your symbols in. Notice down the bottom here there's actually two little options. So you should be able to swipe okay, and that will allow you to add some more in as well, and then swipe back. So to swipe, just put your finger down, flick it that way, okay. So I'm going to have y, okay, equals, put a little fraction in here. So I'm going to go 2x over, so you just click in the box there, 2x over 4z, for example, okay, and click on that little arrow and you've got your maths equation in there as well. So that's something you can play with a lot as well. I'm going to get rid of that. Okay. But also in that option, that function here, you can choose videos, photos, or files. So I'm actually going to click here on photos, videos, or files. And I'm going to choose some from my photos here. So there's a whole bunch of different options. If you've got Dropbox or OneDrive or anything set up as well, you can do that. You can import music from your iTunes library as well if you want to have specific music playing. So for dance teachers or music teachers, anything like that, you can bring tunes in as well. But I'm just going to go over here to Photos. And I'm just going to go to my photo stream through here, and where is I had some, I think I've actually just deleted them, which is really annoying. But anyway, so I'm going to bring a photo in. This is a photo of my beautiful boy William, who I'm going to bring in here, and you can start doing some things on this. So you can actually crop the image up here, so I don't want all these little grey dots over on the side, so I'm going to crop the image by pressing on that. I'm going to put my finger up in this corner, and I'm going to drag down. It's actually not letting me do that at the moment. There we go, so I've done it from the bottom instead. Okay, and I'm cropping that image. I'm going to click on Done. Okay, and it just changes my image a little bit as well. Okay, if I want to select a certain part of the image, I can select that part of the image. Okay, and I can crop it or rotate it around like that as well. Okay, I'm just going to cancel all of that though because I don't want that picture in there, but you can actually start bringing in some of your PowerPoints or photos from the internet, anything like that. So you can open up a web browser in here, okay, and you can actually go to a specific web page if you want to show them something like that, and bring that in as well. So alright, so I'm going to go to just YouTube, alright, for the sake of it. I'll actually bring up the web browser within here eventually once my internet catches up, and you could choose something within here and you can actually start editing that as well. Alright, very, very useful. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is actually show you how you can put together a little slideshow presentation if you want, and then start doing a voiceover over the top of it. So down the bottom here, what you'll probably see here is slide 1 of 1. You're going to use this little arrow here. I want to have, let's say, 5 slides in here. So what I'll do is I actually click on the little plus button, all right, and I start adding more slides in. So I've got up here slides 5 now, so I'm going to come back to this one to go to the first slide. And what I want to do is I want to put in a picture. So I'm going to come up here to my adding, all right, and I'm going to choose an existing photo. Come up to my photos, and I'm going to choose this initial one on the periodic table, like that. Okay, so I'm just going to click on the done, all right, and that's going to put my periodic table in the middle there. Okay, now I can put a title or anything in if I wanted to, but I'm just going to keep it really simple at the moment for time. So I'm going to come down here to the next slide, and the first thing I want to talk about in here is the transition metals. So I'm going to add another photo in here. So I've got my transition metals here, okay, so I'm going to click the done button again, and I'm just adding each of these in. Okay, I'm going to go to my next slide, and I want to come back to my original periodic table, so I can talk about that again, and then I'm going to go to my next slide, and I'm going to put in something about the noble gases, okay, and then on the next one I want to put in something about the halogens as well. So I'm going to just put that there, for example, okay? And so now, if I come back and have a look through my slides, click this little button, I'll go back and you'll see I've got each of those in there. Now you can make them bigger or smaller if you want, but I'm leaving some room around the side that I can do a bit of talking. If I decide I want the periodic table maybe just up the top, okay, just so I've got some room for writing down the bottom, okay, I can do that. So what I've done is just simply set up 5 slides, I'm going to now start to actually record my voice over the top of it and do some talking. So when you're ready, you come down here to the little recording options down the bottom here. Okay, and I'm actually just going to move my little picture up the way for a minute, okay, and just show you some of these options along the bottom. So that's to start recording. When you've done recording, you want to look at it, you hit the play button. That's to skip back and forth between it. Okay, this is what we call your cutting tool that we can look at a little bit later if needs be. This comes back to your home button. All right, all we're concerned about here is the little record button, so I'm just going to move my picture back down again. If we hit the record button, okay, it'll allow us to access your microphone. Now your iPad's inbuilt microphone, so just click OK. Okay, and what you can see now is that the timer has actually started going, so we can start recording. So I would say something like, "Hi, this is Mr. Stapleton's Year 12 Chemistry class. Today I'm going to be talking about the periodic table." Okay, what I'm going to talk about to begin with is a group, and I'm choosing my highlighting tool over here, is a group called the transition metals. Now I could say that the periodic table is split up into 8 groups, and the transition metals are right here in the middle. Okay, now what I could do if I want to get rid of that while I'm talking to the students, while I'm recording, I hit the reverse button and it's there. And I could say that periodic table, all right, is actually 8 groups. Okay, and each of these groups is in a column. Okay, starting at group 1 there and going to group 8 over here. And the transition metals are called transition metals because they transition from the metals, which are here, over to the non-metals, which are over here. Okay, so notice how I swapped colours to try and show the different things I'm doing. Okay, now if I want to talk about going to the transition metals, I can come down here to the bottom, click on my next arrow, alright, and it'll take me to the next slide that I had set up. And I would say, here are the transition metals, blah 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 blah, very exciting, they help us make colours and fireworks, everything like that, all the really cool stuff. And I could say, come back here to the periodic table, the next group I want to look at, these ones over here, which are the halogens and the noble gases. Okay, the halogens, okay, are group 7, okay, and the noble gases are group 8. Okay, then you go to the next slide, look at the noble gases. Here's some examples of them. So obviously we find these in signs. All right, these are all have the same properties. They've got the same outer shell, so 8 electrons there, makes them very stable, blah blah blah. Okay, go on, talk about the halogens here. So fluorine, most reactive non-metal, readily gains electrons, blah 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 as well. Once I'm all done and I've finished my presentation, okay, I press stop down the bottom, okay, and I've got my recording there. Now what I can do is I can go and have a look back at it. So if you hit the play button, okay, alright, it says press and hold for full screen playback of all slides, okay. You can hear my voiceover over the top, okay. Now what this is doing is this is actually just showing me one slide at the moment, okay. So what that was saying is press and hold. So the little record button down the bottom, so this one down here, the play button, if you press and hold it, okay, it will do all slides and show me from the beginning. Okay, you can hear my voice over the top, so you don't have to keep listening to me all the time. I'm actually going to stop that, okay, by pausing down the bottom. Once you're actually done, you've then got a couple of options, okay. Now, this one here, that said the recording mode, you can overwrite or mix. Look, basically that's a bit more advanced. If you want to start playing around with that, you can. I'm not going to go through that too much. But once you've got your video ready to go, what you want to come to do is this one down here, which is the sharing button, okay. And this gives you a huge range of opportunities to export it. And the one that I kind of do normally is I upload to YouTube, okay, but you can choose to put it in a PDF if it's just slides with stuff you're doing, if you want that as well. You can choose to mail it as well if the file size isn't too big. You can put it in your Dropbox if you've got it there, or your OneDrive, but the main one you can do is YouTube. So if you click on YouTube like that, Okay, it'll ask you to sign in with your Google account for your YouTube channel. Now that's a whole different video which I put together for you. But basically, in a nutshell, this is how you use Explain Everything on your iPad. Best thing to do is just get in there, start playing with it. You can erase stuff, you can pause it as you go. Just try and do as much as you can. Come and see me if you've got any questions. And in the next video you probably want to look at once you've got some of these is using this YouTube Google account here to create your own channel so you can start uploading it for your students. Hope this has been useful. Thanks guys.